Creativity is you hiding where you steal from, but finding a way to use references. Creativity is not reserved for any special moment. It's in you. It cannot finish, does not burn data, does not need power, does not need light. It's in you whether you're hungry or you're angry or you're with a huge load of humility, right? Say creativity has nothing to do with drawing. Creativity has more to do with writing than drawing. And the reason why I say writing is it is the only way you can use to pen down the revelation you have from the invisible realm, then it's becoming drawing. It means you've already started converting what you've written to something conceptual. Being able to sketch is conceptualization, not necessarily creativity. Creativity is your ability to solve a problem in a new way, putting in context what you have in front of you at that point in time.
Welcome to the LIMBsimple Podcast, a space where bold conversations meet deep personal clarity. I am Melvis. And today's episode, it's for creators, entrepreneurs, brand builders, and especially for those of you who want to truly cut through the noise that is not just content, but clarity. Our guest is the visual advocate himself, Ayo Ishola. Look, Ayo isn't your average content creator. He is the visual advocate, and not just in some pretty photography kind of way. He is a business thinker, a story engineer, a creator that creates content that bites, not just entertains, not just informs, but awakens your spirit to what your business could possibly be. But that's not what I actually really just love about him. It's the fact that he's rooted. He's rooted in his thoughts, in family, in faith, and in his belief that creativity can be simple, can be smart, and can be intentionally guided. In today's conversation, we'll dive into the raw truth behind the building of a personal brand and how to make a name more than just that, the strategic process of content creation, how to handle creativity rot, and how to train your mind to see brands in unexpected places. Places like beans and onion, you get the gist of it later. And how to craft stellar marketing campaigns. So what I need you to do is buckle up, because we're going to take a dive into the mind of the man who understands and turns strategy into the soul of businesses. This is my conversation with Mr. Ayo Ishola on the LIMBsimple Podcast. Again, my name is Melvis. Thank you so much for joining me, Mr. Ayo.
Yo, I think the journey should be ended right now because you finished everything. This is where I would say flesh and blood did not reveal that.
Oh my!
Because I couldn't have said that better. Man, be like saying I lie, you lie. I'm like, yo, is that me?
Man, you now. That's how I see you. I promise you, that's how 1,000 other people see you too.
It's amazing because it's something else when you allow people define you. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying this from a very objective point of view, because again, there's another mindset that has to do with you making sure that people don't define you. Mm-hmm. But on the other side of it, mm-hmm. when it has to do with value delivery, problem solving, when they define you from that point of view, you get to see yourself in another different light. Sorry to use this example. It's like when Jesus said, who do people say
think I am?
I am. They defined him from what they get. You are my ATM. You are the guy.
You did deliver.
You are the dispatch deliverer. People kept giving him, names based on what they get from him. Even imagine when he fed 5,000 people. They're like, yo, you are now the governor, man. Be the governor. I will vote for you. Maybe bread going to come every day, So literally, when I hear things like this, it's really, really humbling, especially seeing that it's not just about the definition or the presentation of who and what I stand for. It is more from the POV of if this solution has delivered its work, then that is the only location where these things can come from. So it's super humbling. And again, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Now, since you've been humbled, I would like to know, and we know my point of view, how I see you, and I beg say a lot more people see you. Talk to me about Ayo beyond the visual advocate. Let's know you from you.
Okay, so I usually tell people that if the only place you know me is based on the work I do online, and maybe you see my portfolio or you see my body of work outside, I guess you've known like probably 2% of me. And when I say 2%, I mean the most creative work you've seen outside is like 2% of me still, because the creative work itself is at home. And when I say at home, I mean intrinsically now. Talking about me, my family, my friends, the people who are close to me, those are the people who will be like, yo, that guy is nuts, he's something else. He speaks like he can see your problem better than, you do. Even by having normal argument, normal conversation, normal, constructive, conversations as well. You can clearly see and define me to be someone who is something else. And again, that is also humbling. So regarding your question as per who I am outside of visual advocate, I'll say somewhat the same person, but on steroids, because the most difficult part of life, business, solution, even personality, in most cases, is when the cameras are off. When I'm not throwing any shades. A lot of people preach, but they don't act. And I might even be part of those people. But what I make sure I do is I make sure I abide by the principle. I read it in a book. I've forgotten the book. Rework. Yes. Rework. That's the name of the book. And there's a principle there, which is, there's a statement. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Right. And I remember doing a video a long time ago, and the video was titled Creativity, Not a Born Fuel. Right. Which means don't reserve it, because most times we say, now I'll be creative in the next thing. This one, let's just do it. There's no time. No worry. They die, they go. Right. There is always time. Force yourself and tell your creative side, whatever you give me, I will trust you. I'll make sure whatever it is you give to me, I'll value it, I'll cherish it. And your creative side will be like, okay, if this guy takes what I say seriously, then I will bring more. And I've said a lot of things about creative side, how sometimes you're seated just by yourself, someone says something or your pastor says something, and then you smile. And then someone asks you, why are you smiling? And you're like, no, don't worry. It's an inside joke, because it's inside.
Yeah, it's for you.
So how I am with my family, like, I love them. My wife almost gave up on me because she might be really having a heartfelt conversation. I don't like what this guy did today. This was what he did, and blah, 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 blah. And then I'll just say, I see what you did there. She was like, what did I do? And then I'll pick some maybe rhymes that she did, and she'll be like, come on, man, I'm serious. Or she's telling my daughter something and she's so serious about it. And my daughter says, no, mommy, you don't get it. I'll be like, yes, baby, you don't get it. So it's really fun at home. And we don't just stop at that level of conversations, even in implementations. When she goes to school, when she writes some comprehension or composition, sometimes they grade her wrongly. And I tell her I take responsibility. Right. And I tell her that sometimes you do things right, but you do it from the metrics of what you believe, and someone else gives you a wrong grading or grade does not necessarily mean what you did is wrong. We just need to accept it and believe we did what was right. So, and I'm not that person that will look at a report card and be like, oh, is she the best in her class? Even though, by God's grace, we are flying, but I'm making sure that she enjoys her childhood. She has all the avenues to be creative, to be stupid, to be childish, to be childlike, and to never grow up, because I had to fight hard to keep the child in me.
Talking about the child in you, right? What parts of childhood still lives in the creative work that you do?
Reverse engineering and repurposing. And the fact that I use these big words is making me feel like I'm being, overly conceptual. But this is what I mean. I'm one of those kids, and I know a lot of us, have this, in us. I'm one of those kids where there's this thing in Yoruba, they said, "Oferi tone doing radio," which means you want to see who is making the noise
inside the radio.
I think that's actually a very brilliant bio for someone who wants to say he's curious. I'm still,
I agree.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, that's a brilliant. Just say,
I agree.
Imagine having on your bio, instead of saying, I'm curious, I'm a curious cat, just say, I'm still looking for who makes or what makes that sound in the radio.
Inside of a radio.
Nice. So so you can define me as that. So I've spoiled things, I've broken things just because I was inquisitive. I questioned things. There was a time, and this is one of the stupidest things I've done, by the way. So I saw this commercial, Aquafresh, where the lady was stranded on an island. She got Aquafresh. She tried SOS, help, nothing happened. She did everything, nothing happened. And she brushed her teeth with Aquafresh. And there was this guy who was flying an helicopter. And then she brushed her teeth, and then the teeth reflected. And the guy pulled up the helicopter close to her.
Wow.
My mom didn't know about this. I went to buy Aquafresh.
Toothpaste.
And I brushed. My sister passed by, and I was like, she was like, where did you keep the this? And I was like,
for real?
She was like, I'm serious. Where did you keep I said, did you see star?
Yes.
I felt so bad because there was no star. That just shows how I'm very, very, how I can go that far to find something or to prove something. And to show that still lives in me till today, I see something, and in my head, I begin to break it down. Like the lamp in front of us now, the top handle is like an earring. If you look at it, right? It's just differently positioned, right? And if you take the head on the lamp off, that's like a ring. It's just cylindrical, So these are things that if you keep thinking that way, somebody will come in here and be like, oh, I need a prop for my outfit. And they'll be like, oh, we need to go to the fashion store or something. And someone who knows how to reverse engineer will be like, oh,
we can use
let's just lose this thing. Just screwdriver, put it. And then you put it for an entry. And they're like, this is not an earring, but he has a vibe of an earring. Who did this work? Things like that. ChatGPT can't do it for you. AI can't do it for you. AI will die there because it only gets what it's being fed. It's human, it's spiritual to think in a left field, kind of vibe. So it's in me, a lot of it. And this is funny. Even reading the Bible, the reverse engineering and connecting dots to patterns, it works so much. Like you'll be reading the Bible like this, and this is what you are reading. But your mind is reading another verse in another part of the Bible.
I agree.
And I saw in a video recently, I think it's by Apostle Roman, and it said, it's not you that are thinking that thinking, it's the Holy Spirit, So I'm just saying, the part of me who wants to see what is sounding in the radio still wants to see what is sounding in other things. And that is the soul of my quest or my hunger, my thirst for reverse engineering, repurposing, finding patterns. Because again, I believe every single thing is connected. Everything is connected. We've not just gotten to that point where we can find the connection. So I heard someone say there are 6 degrees of connection to every single person in this world. And there was a man online. There's a guy online who actually, he created his account based on that premise. You tell him, how am I related to, or how are you related to Barack Obama? Yes. And the guy will begin to draw the map. How are you related to Saddam Hussein? And he'll be like, okay, this is my mom. My mom met this person. My mom went to this school. This man went to this school. And this man snapped with this person. I went to this school. That is Saddam Hussein. Give me bigger challenges, guys.
Interesting.
Yeah. So people like that keep proving to me that things are connected. The Bible is filled with hyper connections. They say one thing, it becomes a prophecy here, it becomes a clap back here, it becomes a savage response here, but you don't know it's a prophecy. Somebody speaking, Jesus responds. You're like, yo, this guy you get for body. And then and Paul says, oh, that was actually a prophecy, or that was him proving that this prophecy is
true. I mean, first, I think that you said something earlier about creativity being present in everything, in literally everything. My question then would be, is creativity inherent? Are you born with it, or is it possible for one to grow in that? Because so before now, I used to think I would never learn how to draw. I don't know how to draw, aside from makeup. I don't
draw eyebrows.
I do my makeup myself.
Oh my God.
So just maybe I do know how to draw.
Yeah.
I just think I need to draw on a canvas when the canvas is
or
my
maybe
face.
Draw soup. Just draw something.
Okay. But I mean, I just thought about it differently. But I used to think that I'd never know how to, because my best friend is an artist, right? Exceptional, right? So good. She does like really big graffitis and whatnot, right? But I used to always look at her and think like, I can never do this. I don't have it in me. And then I read this book by Carol Dweck, the one on mindset. And I realized, like, based on the research that they did, right, that if you learned the patterns and if you learned the sketches, anybody can draw. So the question then would be, with your type of creativity, right, being visual, being production, photography, brand telling, brand conceptualization, do you think that level of creativity can be taught, can be learned?
Anything can be learned, including going to space and flying a jet. Anything.
Sure.
Anything can be learned. It's basically, if you want to be it, then you make sure you see it. I just said that, don't mind.
But it's true, you have to conceptualize, you have to see it in your brain now.
You have to keep saying it.
Yeah.
There's a place in the Bible where Jacob wanted the cattle of is it Laban?
Yes, Laban, his father-in-law.
To give birth to striped and spotted.
Yes,
and
yes.
Placed the spotted, facade in front of them. And what they saw was what they became. It's just basically what it is, right? If you want to be good at anything, keep it always in front of you and you'll be it. Why does the Bible say when you stare at Jesus Christ, you become light and your face begins to radiate light? When Moses, had a meeting with God and he came out and people couldn't stare at his face. You are what you see. If you keep looking at the wrong things, you become the wrong things. Yeah, and again, it's not just based on the physical sight. It's also based on the internal sight as well. If internally it is you are what you think, or out of what the mind, thinks.
The abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
The mouth speaks, but the mouth speaks or speaketh. The thing is, your heart thinking is your heart seeing, because you can't think without visual. okay, think about the audio of a train sound. It won't come. You have to see the train.
Yes.
And you're like, chuck, 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 chuck. You know, so your mind has to see. And that's why when someone is talking to you and you want to say you've understood, you'll be like, I
see it.
Yeah. So it's basically, if anybody can be creative. And I want to, with a huge load of humility, right, say creativity has nothing to do with drawing. Creativity has more to do with writing than drawing. And the reason why I say writing is it is the only way you can use to pen down the revelation you have from the invisible realm, you know. Then it's becoming drawing. It means you've already started converting what you've written to something conceptual. Being able to sketch is conceptualization, not necessarily creativity. Creativity is your ability to solve a problem in a new way, putting in context what you have in front of you at that point in time. Our mothers are bad asses, if I'm permitted to say so. My mom there was a time at home and I was going for an interview and my mom wasn't schooled, right? So I was going for an interview and all my mom, because I read. And my mom said, I don't know much about this education thing, but I'll give you what I have. So. And she told me, come. And I came. And she gave me, and she said I should pick this cup. Coincidentally, there's a cup in front of me. And she told me to pick that cup and give it to me. And then I did this. She's like, that's wrong. She was like, pick the cup again and give it to me. I did like this and I gave it to her. She said, that's wrong. This is how you pick a cup and give it to an adult. You hand over the handle
to
the adult.
My dad.
You know.
My dad.
And she told me that and I'm like, this is the definition of a woman giving you everything she has. And next thing she was like, give me the knife. And then I picked the knife at the tip and then she was like, that's wrong. That's going to hurt you. And then I held it at the other side. She was like, you have to choke me. I said, no. Then I said, you hold it by the side and then you hand it over. And so many other things. And I'm like, wow. Like, so it means it's just that the person I'm going to do interview with will not ask me these questions. But if they ask me this question, the way I will answer with so much pride and so much conviction, you know, it just shows how everybody's creative. Our parents, you'll be sick and they'll tell you that, what do we have at home? We have palm oil, we have sugar. Oh, there's no sugar. Do we have salt? Yes, we have salt. If you don't have salt, bring onion pepper from inside the farmer's market, something. If there's no that, there is always a solution around them, and that blows my mind. I'll call our moms the first epitome of creativity. They keep proving that things you need are right in front of you, right around you. I mean, it's emotional, but if we do what we are meant to do with it, it should tell us that we don't need to look so far to solve the problem we have right in front of us.
I agree. I strongly agree.
So again, you don't have to learn to draw to be creative. And I was a terrible, for the lack of a better word, drawer.
Really?
Yeah, whether pull-out drawer or the drawer.
Look at you. I saw what you did there.
You know, I know people literally laugh at my drawings.
So then how come are you able to see the art in art when other people don't see it?
So even in my early days in advertising, oh my God, I did an interview in one agency. They gave me a test, right? And they told me, this is your test. Advertise water. So I wrote a script. Oh my God, I wrote it so much. And what got me into advertising was because I wanted to do trailers, movie trailers. Oh my God, like I can dream movie trailer. Like I'll see a movie trailer, I'll be like, let somebody be like, in life, ka. I got it. And cameras are, the president of the United States has been missing. Just be like, we need to get to the situation room. The people move, that used to like, I cry when I watch trailers. Till today. I cry. Like, because I'm like, how can you tell a story
Of
in such a way that it gives you... There's this movie then that was really viral, Immortal. The trailer was crazy and the movie was off, dead on arrival, terrible. I did this thing. From designing, I joined the video department. I did all of that. And then NYC, someone said, you should be an advertising agency. I said, what is that? You know, I didn't know some of the things I was doing previously was advertising. And then that was how, you know, I got into advertising core, you know. And when I now got to advertising my first year, you know, I discovered that people draw, you know. And for me to even get an agency, they'll give you a brief and they'll tell you to advertise water. So my premise, I don't even know how I got to know that there's meant to be a premise and you need to be consistent and disciplined with the boundary of the premise. So it was out of water, no get enemy. And my script started with, you know, a boy waking up in the morning. We never do these things. I'm writing camera opens, you know. We have a foreground background effect, which does not make sense. I could have just said rack focus, you know. And I said the boy wakes up in the morning, drinks water, camera cuts to, you know, a woman fetching water in a water bottle. Then camera cuts to presidents having a meeting and there's water in front of everybody, which is true. Then camera cuts to someone who wins an F1 race. They give him a champagne. He pours it away, but drinks water, you know. And I did all of that. And my copy was water no get enemy. You know, whether you should drink this particular water, something. I've not even started working in advertising then. And the guy was like, fine, now draw it. I'm like, okay. Then I started drawing rubbish. You go wrong. But I don't know what happened to me. I think it was a spirit. I was excited. I was drawing. You know, in that, you know, if it's meant to be a movie, you'll see camera will go, then it will be time lapse. You write, you know, you drink energy drink. You keep, I almost like I was on steroids. I drew it. I told him I'm done. He said, let me see it. I was excited. Yo. I handed it to him. He said, you're done. I said, can I have that paper, please? He gave it to me and I snapped it. I said, this is the best drawing I've done in my life.
So proud of yourself.
The guy said, do you smoke? I said, no. You know, so the guy was shocked. But I'd never drawn like that in my life. You know, so I was so excited. So getting into advertising, I discovered that
you have to learn.
People, they draw. Learn waiting.
You never stability now.
I was just do the thing. We'll find a way. You know, so that find a way was what now helped me. Because if I can't draw, I must be able to find
You're argumenting with something.
So find an image. People will draw when they want to present their ideas. I will find the image. I'll manipulate the image to sell my own idea. At the end of the day, my image is closer to a finished work. And then my work will pass, you know. Or they'll be like, oh, I like your treatment. Oh, I like how clean this is. If you guys want to move your own to the execution, this thing, make it look like this, you know. So nobody really asked, why didn't you draw first? They assumed I drew
and then just giving them the semi-finished.
They didn't know I could not. And this same ability to solve problem and game the system won me a pitch amongst the top 5 photographers in this country. I'm talking about the biggest names. There was something I couldn't do. Then there was this popular airbrushing that was going on. I couldn't do it. There was no frequency separation then. But I capitalized on the fact that there was a time I needed to do a shoot and it was a rich people kind of shoot. And those people don't need that thing. So when the top photographer sent in their portfolios, they were showing big people, but when they came back with feedback, they're like, this guy's image, they look real. You could see the skin of the people he shot. They didn't know I didn't know how to do the thing. Do you understand? So that's why my approach, whether is illustration what? If you cannot draw and your mind can see the picture clearly, this eyes, your Oju, the Oju in you.
The inside eyes.
Yes, the inside eye. I actually did something there, but you didn't say.
I'm not Yoruba side.
Yeah, Oju is the eyes in you, like I and you. That's, you know. Yeah, don't worry. There are plenty. Jesus.
It choke.
It's Jesus. You know? So if you can define clearly what you see in your heart and you can pen it down and you can articulate it, you've already cut away 90% of people in this world, even the so-called creative people. Now there is AI. Take that image, tell the AI to do it for you. And maybe the visuals we see are different. Unless if you spend all your time seeing what other people do, then you vomit the same thing you see. But if you're able to transfer what you have within you outside, is it not draw? Tell ChatGPT to draw for you, to draw now. Although it is easier for you to give it a sketch. But again, when you see and see and see, you will be forced to learn to define what you see better. You know, so nobody really criticized me for not being able to draw, but I was laughed at anyway that I could not draw. So my colleagues knew I couldn't, but the people we're presenting to never cared to ask. So me doing those illustrations on Instagram and you seeing all those things and those scribbles, it's just, I don't care if people can don't insult me. I'm an insulted person already. You know,
you can't shame the shameless.
You can't shame the shameless. Somebody will say something, they fall from ground. That's actually the guy, one of my very good friend and colleague. He said something they fall from ground. He says that whenever you want.
Not true.
When you want to put.
It don't already dig ground.
Yes.
You know, fist fall again.
Yes. So whenever he puts when we put cameras on a pedestal on a platform, he says for him, the best place to put it is on the floor because something of it fall.
For grand.
You know, so with that, I discovered that if you sincerely solve the problem in front of you, the methodology will be secondary.
So, that's just great. Makes me feel a lot better too.
Now, don't worry, you're creative. So whenever anybody comes to meet me, especially when I have, because I hold a lot of consultancy, consultation, session as well, where people are like, it's you people that are creative. Me, I'm not creative. I'll be like, seriously? And you know how to pair dresses? And you know that red lipstick goes with red pants? You say you are not creative, yet see the content you're doing online. You are bloody creative. I cut cap. You'll be like, oh, thank you.
Talking about creativity, right?
Yes,
I'd like for you to talk to me about how you came about your brand name.
Brand name, the visual advocate. So my brand name was out of a problem, something that almost depressed me. But again, it was so terrible that I couldn't tell anybody else that this was depressing. Yes, a lot of people could see me before I saw myself. A lot of people refer to me as that guy who is gifted and talented. So I have a photography side of life. I have a creative side of life, creative directorship part. I have an artist part of life. Then I have the living life part of life. Where people are like, this guy is just great. I didn't even know I have actually gotten a deal in church because I was working in church, and just because we argue and just because of how I think, someone called me, told me he wants me to be part of his company. Yes, gave me equity. It was when I gave the person my website, the person said, thank God, thank God, thank God.
I don't even know.
If to say, I see the website first, I thought, talk, say you go cause. Do you understand?
Yes.
It was like, because he didn't clearly know the value I'll bring to the table, he gave me value. But if he saw that I am actually respected and I know these things, he wouldn't have come to meet me because he would be scared that I want to take everything from him. So a lot of people saw me before I saw myself. But again, why I was not happy is someone would introduce me to someone else, maybe, and they'll say, this guy is a crazy photographer. He's one of the best photographers I've known. And I'll be angry. Why? Why didn't the guy, or doesn't the guy know I'm also a good designer? Then another person on another occasion will introduce me to someone else and say, this guy is one of the best designers in the world. And I'll be sad again inside. I mean, I'll be happy and give the handshake, but I'll be sad. Then another person, and I'll be like, why didn't the guy tell that man that I'm a very creative person? Until one day I was taking a walk and the Holy Spirit, kind of like cautioned me that you have no right to blame anybody for calling you what you don't like.
If you're not going to change it.
You call yourself. And that was when I saw that, it's actually difficult. And I need to find a way to call myself, because they were calling me based on what the value I have delivered for them, And then I thought about the fact that the reason why I'm so passionate is because I'm on fire for craft. I'm on fire for seeing a vision come to life. I'm on fire for seeing things and being able to just interpret what you saw, not necessarily executing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why simple ideas like people who, sell cars, they take jerry can, put it on top. And once you see a bottle of water, you just know that the car is for sale. No text, no copy, no marketing, no billboard, no roll-up banner. Just put a bottle of water, it's for sale. Blew my head.
Yeah.
Right? Simply because concepts like that, your car is bad on the road while you're traveling. You cut greeneries around you and you place it in a sequential format. When the greeneries begin to die, it means the car has gone. Because if the car was still there, they would have been replaced. Mm-hmm. This was not in any score. It's just one of those thoughts that come in my mind. So I love and respect things like that. I'm like, okay, I am someone who fights. I am someone who will not sleep just because I love or I see or I don't agree with vision or concept or actualization of dream or one of those things. So I now said, okay, I'm someone who fights for vision. Then I'm like, no, I'm someone who fights for sight. Okay, that's visual advocate. But if I say visual advocate, when people think, this guy is a designer and is fighting for designers, I'm like, no, let them think so. Mm-hmm. When they get their value, they will know. In short, for a long period, they'll not be able to articulate who I am. But for the sake of clarity and me coming out of my closet, visual advocates is actually your internal sense of sight. You're having that dream, having that vision, seeing from within what you see and you can't really interpret. That thing you see that vision you had that you're like, if this happens, the world will never remain the same. And then you do it and it's not that fine. Obviously, it's because there is a bridge. There's been a gap between what you saw and what is being actualized. So my name, visual advocate, is someone who carries the placard of what you see here to be actualized physically.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think it's beautiful because now I feel like you probably have found peace in introducing yourself and being referred to.
Oh my God. Peace? You're talking of peace. Peace that surpasses all understanding. I consulted for some guys in Bulgaria. Obviously, I can't mention names. We're consulting. These guys were smoking weed. They own a fashion outfit. I never felt like I was doing God's work like that. Like, they were smoking weed. They're like, yo, I saw your video, man. We're working on something. I'm like, yo, that, when people call you, not just people who, they're like, oh, he's wearing a suit and he's wearing tie. He wants to grow in life. These guys were smoking weed. They were doing business. They had a company it's not Palestine or somewhere somewhere that was making all their outfits. Bulgaria.
Mad.
So peace, oh God. And peace is another topic of discussion because I value peace like, oh my God. And I had to read the Bible to know that peace is the greatest gift in the Bible. Aside Jesus Christ, of course. And this was how I found out. I discovered that whenever anybody does anything that blows God's mind, they'll be like, you know what? Wait for it. Drum roll. You drum. Come see. I give you peace. At first, when I read the Bible, I was pissed off, even though it was peace.
Peace that surpasses all human understanding.
Because the peace, I'm like, yo, give this guy money now. Give peace. Even when they born Jesus, the armies of heaven and the angels of heaven, they were throwing party, and God said, I know what? all the men that are men of God, because of this boy, we didn't born, so I give it peace. I'm like, yo, what's the big deal about this peace? So peace, yo, man, I'm so peaceful.
I'm happy for you.
I'm so peaceful. Like, if you ask if I've gotten there, yes, I've gotten there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, life is in stages. Right?
Yes, true.
In terms of me knowing if I've gotten there, I have so gotten there. But in terms of physicality, in terms of location, in terms of geography, in terms of what I'm wearing, in terms of time, space, and the physicality of things, yes, I've not entered that room. I've not been in front of those kings. But yo, you're a king.
You just feel like one.
You're a king right now. Like,
thank you.
And it's not even figurative. Like, you're a king.
Thank you.
So it's not. I am there. And there is nothing sometimes that can make you more creative, more present than knowing you're there.
I feel like that's a very high level of grounding. And that can only come from, from up there.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, up there is a whole different conversation. But people who follow me already know that I carry Jesus on my head. Like, no, I carry Jesus on my head. I feel like the day I mistakenly just messiah like this, boom.
You don't be.
That well would not dry.
Anyways, so I'd like you to talk me. So look, right. I spent when I realized that I was gonna be having you here, and after our first conversation, not the one when we spoke for 80 minutes, the first conversation, I spent about an hour because I know I was just getting back from the gym. And, my whole journey from the gym back to the house will take me about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, thereabouts. I spent all that time on your page.
Oh, my God.
On your page, right? Wow. I got down to the part where we were talking about naming ceremonies. Do you know, that's all the way down there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I am in awe of your content, right?
Yeah.
But I'm actually more fascinated about the process of creation, the behind the scenes stories, right? I want you to walk me through how you first off create your script. Do you wing it? Do you write it? Do you see it and then act it? How do you edit? How do you know when the edit is the edit? Right. Talk to me about that.
Okay. Firstly, thank you.
You're welcome.
For letting me know that you spent a lot of valuable time, on my page. You could have been on Tunde Not for who knows what. But regarding my process, firstly, what I tell everybody, every creative, every man of God, every human being, be present. The present is a gift. That's why it's called present.
First though, before you continue, how do you be present? Because I feel like a lot of things we just say them in passing and we assume, people will just understand what that means.
Yeah.
But present, I promise you,
present is being in the now. It's so terrible that the Bible even said tomorrow's problem go. They wait. When we get there, we face it. Today, let's just be here. There are so many things we have in front of us that will slip past us. We will not know. Simply because we are carried away by something else or what it should be like. If there's anything I love my family about, my wife, oh my God, like just thinking about her now is just motivating. She knows how to be present. If this is what we have, and I think God just uses her to teach me lessons. There were periods where maybe we invested in something and then we really wanted to eat something. And then she'll be like, let me just go to the kitchen and see what I can wing. And I don't know why. Most times whenever she does things like that, I had to be like this. Most times whenever she wings up something on in me. Oh my God, it's
so
amazing.
delicious.
That she just be like, I don't feel like put this one. If that's how you feel, it's okay. You're welcome. So that has taught me that. And the same thing I spoke about our mothers. Once I learned that if you are present in the now, you will see the solutions in the now. I mean, a lot of people are jackbuying, right? If they were present enough, they'll see the reason why people are coming back in to take the money that is here. The money, I thought we said the money is not here. But people are spending the money. right? So in the brief, in the work, someone could say something. Someone could say, my head is itching me. But because I am present in my head is itching me. I'm present in every second. I see something that even the person who said it did not see or is about to see, or I see something that my followers would love to see. And then immediately I know that my followers will love to see it. Immediately I start thinking, how can I make them see this thing? And by the way, if you ask me what one of my greatest ideas were, it was a day when someone's impersonated me, took my picture from Instagram, looked for all my followers, took their numbers, went to WhatsApp, made my picture his picture and started begging for 20K, and people were now chatting me that, yo, is this you? Is this you? Is this you? So they chatted my assistants, my colleagues, so those one reached out. My wife already entered the war room. I'm like, yo, calm down. I felt like, it's just something's a rhubarb. I'm like, yo, man, calm down. So I told my wife, I said, Holy Spirit, help me. I need to do something with this thing, And my wife was like, before I do anything, before I talk anything, first go and put disclaimer, put it online, tell the people, somebody started to impersonate me. I said, no. So immediately I entered. What do I want to achieve? I want people to know that if this guy can be able to be present in this kind of situation and still come up with a creative twist to it, then it means it is possible to be creative at every single point in time. So I was just walking around. Then one of my friends called me. I said, that person called him. And the person immediately called me and told me what happened. I said, you know what? We need to record this conversation. And we recorded the conversation. And I did the video Be Like Bolaji. Where I was like, somebody impersonated him, blah, 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 da, 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 da. And I said, so, and the title was, if you have to fall for something, fall in love, not for scam,
Oof.
And, that was a personal pat in the back for me, or pat on the back for me, like, yo, you scaled this and you scaled it with your colors, flying. So when I get briefs, I become present I enter inside the brief. And that's why when I'm consulting with a client and the client just says, I don't know, I'm not feeling that butterflies anymore, and when we speak, and I tell them, they're like, oh, Jesus. Virtually, man, like it's something else. It's something else over there, so being present has too many gifts that a lot of people are missing. Then when I get the gift, the next thing is, how do I present this gift to people out there? I don't want to make it too highfalutin. I don't want to make it too esoteric or too polished that they'll be like, oh, this is not real. Right? So
I can't relate to it.
Yeah. So that's why I need to bring in some of those comic, those little play on words, those little things that just make it, a bit more acceptable and digestible. Right? So I do that and then I script. I don't wing it. You might think because I'm talking like this, I wing something. Or you might think maybe because we consulted or I spoke with you and you were talking and immediately I gave a brand statement and I did all of that and like, this guy's saying all this. No, I write every single thing, including you get it.
Is it like?
Yes, including camera cut skills, including, when something. I write some of those. Yes, because I try to make sure I don't forget because my brain is a carcass. Is a caucus or caucus. Yes, forever. Yeah. My brain is filled with like things are passing, especially, when I start taking Jesus seriously, my brain is like a bridge and the water will pass plenty. So I write not because I can't have ideas. I write because I need to discipline myself
to stay on that idea.
The only second chance I have to write in is during edit.
Okay. So I know you said that during our conversation.
Yes.
I think you said that. You said editing the second time is the second chance that you get to tell your story.
To get to write your story.
To write your story. So, come on, Jesus. I'm really amazed, right? It's because while I was on your page, in the comment section, because I am a comment section addict, while I'm watching the video, I'm in the comment section just to be sure that every other person can resonate. What I'm feeling, you're feeling it too, Abi. Yeah.
When you get to the comment section, did you see anybody tell you, welcome to my crib? That's like,
we are playing crazy. Like, 'cause I'm like, okay, so you shoot this video now, you write the script. Do you edit it now with the script or with your acting of the script?
So I edit it with two things in mind. The message I want the person to get.
Okay.
But most importantly, I must make sure is the second opportunity to get things perfectly. So for example, I might say, don't ever do that. Like, okay, maybe you want to call your brand name Buki and Damola because they are your kids and that's what you want to call your business. And I say, don't ever do that, and that's what I shot. But when I get to the ending, I might be like, don't pause for effect. Ever pause for effect. Do, maybe as I'm about to talk, do that, someone slap you, pow, it gives another effect. Like if you see the video for Problem, Problem was written. The 1B Problem had been written. It was when it was now, I was writing the last part of it and I'm like, Holy Spirit, I need to conclude this thing perfectly. Do those your stunts again. And my colleague was playing a song in the studio back then and I said, please stop. Immediately he stopped, like almost like 5 seconds. That was when the line came to fore that in every problem you will find at least one thing. And that connected the entire idea. It's crystallized. And I was like, yay, thank you. Hey, and I celebrate like that every time when I see something good. So when you people are celebrating, I'm like, we have it since, So yes, it's the editing must go in line with the initial excitement you have
for the shoot.
I make sure it happens. In short, when I do projects for my clients, from the beginning of the project, we always have a hashtag. We always have a motto so that whenever you come to the WhatsApp group, you cannot treat it like a formal project because truly, when we begin a project, we're happy. We get to the middle of the project, the butterfly is dying, like the wings don't
So get tired.
So I make sure by the special grace of God that the vision we had, the excitement we had is 100%
We hold it to
the same till the project
execution. A question now would be, I think I also asked you this that day is, let's say for instance now, I shoot a content, right? And I can't edit. Never have had I had the skills to edit, right? But I'm really good at communication, and I'm so passionate about what I want to talk to my audience about. And then I shoot this content, and I have an editor that is really good at putting pieces together and telling really beautiful stories. But he was not with me during the shoot, and all I have to do is to give him the raw content. How do I, and is it possible that I transfer my passion and my interpretation to him? And if it's not possible in that case, would I have to be forced to learn that skill myself to execute my dream?
So let me say it this way. If you are to build a sense of hierarchy, or a sense of priority to the elements we have. 1, we have fire. 2, we have the message. And 3, we have what the people see or hear, right? If we put it in that way, I see the fire as the most important thing, because people will always have something to hear and see, right? If your priority is the fire, then you must make sure that keeping the fire at that point is consistent. It is possible that you don't need an editor. It is possible that the reason why you think you need an editor is because of the kind of content you consume. If the fire is what is priority, do a selfie video, speak, and that fire, the spirit behind it, will come through. And when you do that over and over again and over again and over again and over again, and when you are like, when you want to give a punchline, like never do that. You hear? Or like some people do, they will nod the camera. If you do that 15 times, you do that 100 times, by the time editors chat you in your DM that I want to edit for you, they already know that you must not overshoot our raw essence. Imagine if Hawa begins to shoot on Ari, Alexa, or Red camera. Her broke lamenting will not work anymore. Do you get what I mean?
I agree with you.
Or imagine she says, "Oh, because I saw, LIMBsimple's podcast all cool and polished, I'm going to do my next video in a Bentley." People be like, "I thought I prayed you never succeed. What is going on?"
I love Hawa.
Because she has created a persona around, I will work with what I have and I don't give a damn
what anybody. I swear, even when Hawa starts to pop, when Hawa starts to make all the money, people will not even still believe.
Exactly. No, people will wish that she remains permanent in that poverty. And because she understands her positioning, that's why she made sure that yam overgrew to put it next to the door. That is why she made sure that she removed the TV in her room to say, this place now, we've not had TV. Stop looking at the light. I know it's not working. Stop it. All of that was doctored.
That's why she went to go and look for washing machine for 2 weeks.
Exactly. But guess what? She's so expensive. Yes, she's expensive.
Especially after the face unveiling.
No. Before? It's not even about before. What you should look at is the contrast between the message and the person. She's expensive. You can't just afford her like that. It's hard. Sorry, not hard. It's expensive. But the truth is, she found herself in a sweet spot where only people who are willing to spend money will come. Other people want to come and laugh. If you need the eyeballs, you come and you pay me.
I agree. I
will leave a poverty room in my house that is somewhat believable. There's a POP, but there's no bulb.
I show you what you need to see.
I show you what gets you on and makes you happy. But when I go to play my PS5 in the other room, I'll make sure.
Anybody gonna know?
Exactly. So that is what I mean by make sure you hold your hierarchy perfectly. What is that thing that must not get lost? If it's your eloquence, to hell with editing. If you know you are gifted with words, let editing go and park somewhere. What you need to first do is make sure you have created enough to tell your body, spirit, and soul that I am committing to this. I am willing to make this work. I have put 100 videos out there or 300 videos. Then the world will know that no, she's not going to give up. Then when editors come, or if editors say, "Oh, sorry, there's traffic," be like, "Nah, don't worry. I'll just do my video how I do it." Your content will still go up. But I advise people who want to start, especially people who consult with me. Yes, I'm looking for a team that can start editing for me. They will bring camera on Thursday. Sorry. Depending on the kind of content. If you want to be doing content consistently, you will not succeed. I'm not swearing for you. You will fail in capital letters. Then full stop after the L. You will fail because your success and your publishing is 100% based on other people. We are in a world whereby you need to be spontaneous. If you let the idea stay too long, the idea dies. So imagine someone like me. Imagine the amount of ideas that have died. Just imagine.
Right.
My head is a graveyard. Right.
Okay. So, first off, thank you for that. Because technically, that's not a question for myself. Yeah. I want us to mirror what you do on Instagram, right? Now, I saw the pain post by the one for Very Dark Man. How'd that go?
Amazing. So, Very Dark Man's video was actually a decoy, but a lot of people didn't see it. But again, it's about what people want to see and what they want. That video was just to tell the world that these are the kind of solutions I bring to the table.
That's not what everybody saw?
And yeah, people were thinking I needed him to respond. Even though he did respond and even though he did post the video, even though Tunde had not posted the video, people were like, if Very Dark Man go call you, this thing will go bill. I'm like, I'm praying it doesn't call.
I'm thinking about like how a lot other people are coming to, consult and say, I mean, here's what I have. Like, what can I do with that?
A lot of people were pinning the idea with, if he doesn't call, then the idea is failed.
No,
don't you get it? It's a decoy. It's meant to, the most important thing is, you know what to do, call the creative director of the masses. You know, that was it. It wasn't for him. It was for other people, you know, but it is what it is.
Wow. Perception is different, you know.
Yes. Yes.
Anyways, so to practicalize like what you do on Instagram, right? I'm going to ask you right now on the spot, right? Let's break down what you do, but for industry. So let's start with this. If someone listening right now would like to say get into the medical space, like a founder in like the medical space, but they want to come in with like a bit of zest and, you know, something different and, you know, taste and flair. How would you suggest that person goes about it?
I would rather the person put zest and flair and effigy in the trash, then lock it, then take it to the trash outside. The person should go with difference, because difference is what you are born with. Difference is what is in you. Different is what you have seen. Different is who you grew with. Different is the people you roll with. You can't pack 50 people and 2 people will be alike. Why are you getting into the medical space? Is it because the nurse that took your injection tried it 15 times before they got your vein? Is it because you're laughing?
No, because why did you even think about that?
No, I just thought about that. You know, why was it? Is it because nurses these days are speaking too much English? Is it because nurses these days, you like them and you feel like, oh, why is it that guys fall in love with nurses, you know? Or is it that my mind is really, you know,
I know.
Or is it that nurses wear white but their heart is dark, you know? Or is it that you see some nurses online and there are some things you noticed? There has to be a why behind the why. When you ask that question, you usually find a positioning. If your problem is nurses speak too much big English,
I'm the nurse that doesn't speak a lot of English, I guess.
It means you need to speak the language people understand. There's a nurse, Auntie Nurse, on Instagram. I follow her a lot. She speaks Yoruba, you know, and she speaks eggs. Oh my God, I thought that was brilliant. When you come with your difference, your personal factor, they can't copy you. Anybody that copies you will reiterate your position in the industry. They will say, that girl that does video like this person. And the person will be like, I think Ben has done new video. Let me go and check. Oh, she has not done new video. There's this one I saw again that is funny. And let me go and watch it again. It is you. Once you bring that differentiating factor.
With the origin.
So that's what I would tell the person who wants to get to the medical space. We will make sure we find the reason why.
What about someone that wanted to get into real estate?
Yeah.
I just had a 2-hour conversation with some really, really big real estate.
I have a test for real estate guys at the end.
Okay.
I have just trace them. But real estate is I would say it this way. Why are you getting into real estate? If you're getting there for the money, then fight for the money. If you are getting there because you want to show people that you are better than them and you are not their mate, then it means you need to find out why you're better than them. Is it because you have the finer eyes for detail? Is it because you can see the lines that are not straight? Is it because when they tell you this tile is imported from so, you will give them a place to get it for cheaper? Is it because you want to bring in a technology that has not gotten here yet, or the technology that you developed because of your weather and your kind of place? Is it because you know you are just smarter than these people? Is it because you know you are born different? When you answer those questions, it will help your positioning. It's not always location. What's next?
I saw what you did there. It's not always just smart investor. Okay.
Invest in your future today, because the economy is not working. Okay, it's not also working. You know.
Okay, so let's see. What about brand communication?
Yeah, that's actually the easiest of all.
Okay.
And the reason why people think it's hard is because they are looking to go straight for the money. When you want to go straight for the money, you go for the wrongest things. Because if you go straight for the money, it means the fastest route you want to follow is for someone else who has gotten the money. And once you follow a route twice to a consumer, they have this muscle memory, brain memory. Oh, I've heard this before. I've seen it before. Then they won't act with the kind of promptness they acted the last time.
Okay.
And the only way you can get your consumer is if you ask yourself again the why behind the why. If everybody has said the same thing, get your copy now. And you must say it differently. Because you get it the moment after before.
Okay.
And me saying that will make your brain think like,
What? I did. I just thought, what does the moment after before means?
yeah, and because I have made your brain think, you will get the message, get your copy now. So marketing is a whole different ballgame, and coincidentally, that's what I'm talking about.
I do know that that's what you're talking about at the
And you'll be there.
I will be there.
Please be there.
I will be there.
Like the Holy Spirit literally let
go with that. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, let me see. What other industry can we do? What industry is popping right now? Someone in your space.
I don't know. My head is flooded. I'll rather you bring one up.
Someone in, let's say, interior.
So if you are to do something for interior, again, it's straight from the intrinsic again. Why are you getting into the interior?
I think that from I mean, from your answering this question, right? I
have like a focal point. I always start from within.
From within.
It will solve every single problem. It always works.
But you see, the problem is sometimes, right? The most difficult thing is to go within.
Yes, that's why. Sorry, the devil will always give you without references. There are references outside every time. And the more you see outside references, the more it's hard for you to dig within. Because most times what you even see within are diamonds in roughs, or diamond in the roughs. So you need to go through skyscrapers of roughs before you find diamond. But the most important thing about creativity, even beyond that, I can answer a question for 3 years. We can sit here and now we answer. But when it's time for you to go and solve it yourself, you don't say answer. It's simply because creativity is 70% discipline.
But like, can people just employ you to think for them?
Yes, of course. They can employ me to think for them. I'll think for them. But what I usually do is to align mindset. Let's align first. When we align ourselves to our mindset and what we want to achieve, then we go for it. So that I upgrade your mind to that level. So when I upgrade your mind, unless I am totally working and I head your thinking department and you're like, whatever you want, do it. Then I don't have to upgrade your mind because you've already trusted. Then you will learn by seeing. And when you see, you believe. And when you believe, you become, So that will now, because you'll be like, they'll be like, congratulations. I saw the stuff you did with your diamond something factory. And they're like, yeah, we did it. I won't try. It's you can do that. But with time, when people keep congratulating, you start saying, let us do something like we did the previous time. I like how people congratulated me the former time. I like how people say I'm with a difference. I like how people say I stand out. I like how people call my company the company with the edge, But before, you didn't understand what was going on.
What all that meant.
So,
I mean, talk to me about personal branding, right? I feel like with the advent of social media, right? You can be anything. But then with that power itself means that you could be nothing if you're not properly branded, right? So how would one go through the process of, first off, creating a brand name, right? And then grow it onto acceptance?
I would want us to start from behind again.
Okay, please do.
You have to know yourself. You have to find yourself. You have to make sure that while you are knowing and finding yourself, you understand where you blossom. You understand your flow state. You understand your zone. Like you now, you say you love to talk and you love to establish and eloquently position and present and get that attention and make sure the eyeball never leaves you and all of that. If that is what rocks your boat, then stick with that. And then if you want to find something else, use that as an anchor, then find things in you with that. So I can eloquently convince pregnant women to make sure they don't miss their antenatal. I can eloquently convince people in the kitchen because I love to cook, while I can eloquently speak. I can eloquently tell people who can cook that life is not all about, you having all the ingredients. You can also make things that are available to you. I can eloquently. So you can see how I tied everything to your core.
Anchor yourself around it.
And drive every expression of you around it. What people do is they position themselves based on their vision. And sometimes your vision is for tomorrow, it's not today. You will get to the promised land. You are not in the promised land. This is the wilderness. However, the lifestyle you'll be living in the promised land, I want you to be living like that now, but you cannot build a big structure in the wilderness. You build a tent. When you get to this promised land, you build a temple, right? So it's basically people rushing to personal branding. They get a logo, they get a name, they get a this, they get a that. They wake up on a Thursday and they're like, I'm not feeling it again. I don't know why. Then it means there's a problem. You can actually see a lot if you are present. One advantage of being present is being present helps you to reverse engineer. Reverse engineer is another word for breaking things down. You discover that someone like Kiki, who has found herself, they can create another type of content and it aligns with their person. When they are comparing for an event, it aligns with their personality. Then when they decide to pivot, I discovered that broke people follow me more than rich people. I want rich people to follow me. Then personal branding then is what will help you to position you for those kind of people while retaining or modifying or shifting your nuances, but still rooted in your identity. I just did some inception.
I see what you did there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So then what makes personal branding, so there's personal branding and then there's corporate branding.
Yes.
Right. For a brand that is trying to, get their corporate image right, what would you say is like a stepwise process that they would follow?
The first reason is, why did they even come in the first place?
Okay.
I know everybody wants to make money, yes, but there has to be a why. Billionaires do this a lot, when people, talk on camera, just like I'm going to do at the end of this podcast. Someone will ask them, so what is that thing you want to tell that aspiring, that boy who's looking at? And they'll be like, I want that boy to know that it is possible. Anything you put on. That's a lie. You just want to collect money. You want people to call that phone. You want people to start investing and buy that land. It's not about any boy. People, they'll be like, why did you do GE Electric? Why is America? They'll be like, so that every mother will know that they can sleep peacefully at night.
Bro, you like money?
But the truth is, even if you came out for money, you must be rooted in a why that aligns perfectly with human truth.
A why that aligns perfectly with human truth.
Yes.
Okay, please go on.
So human truth or global truth. A mother will always love her child. Global truth. Nobody likes thieves. Global truth. You can't prepare for a thief to come. You can't know when a thief is going to come. Global truth. When people belong to a team, then they invest more passion. Yeah. If you say, let us make this hotel better. Let's make this room cleaner. Yes, people will try. But when you say we are dividing ourselves into two teams, team A and team B, let's clear this room. That's when you will see the genius coming because there's something to lose. So there are several truths that you can align with. And there are also truths that a father will do all he can to make sure that the family is happy. When the wife is happy, the husband is happy. You know, that's actually global truth. I don't care what anybody says. I'm just saying that. And I'm saying my full chest, you know.
I agree. I'm not a wife, but I agree.
That's it. For me, it's a global truth. So when you align your brand with a global truth, some kind of truth that nobody can argue with, like you want to be better. Even if I don't want better for you, once I tell you, you'll be like, oh, you're so cute. You know, or if I say, aren't you tired of where you are in life? Even though you just closed 2 billion naira yesterday, you'll be like, why am I not making 3 billion?
God, I know they finish.
You know, exactly. Those are clear truths. So when you align the reason for your being, something that actually matters, something that connects to the pain point of your consumer, then it will get to a point where they'll be the one fighting for you. They'll be the one rooting for you.
I mean, let's talk a little then about USPs, right? I saw your content about 2 things right now in my brain. I can't remember which it is, but one was about the US. It was about beans.
Yeah.
A content about beans.
Yes.
And the one about June.
Yeah.
Right. The question then would be, those are very creative marketing campaigns, right? And I like what you did with, you know, how she was able to put her brand name
in her messaging.
Yes, in her messaging. And then the other one about how, you know, everything has something that is unique about them. So my question then would be, how do businesses, especially like maybe startup business, because I know that, you know, big brands can get, you know, big shots like you to think for them through their marketing campaigns, right? But then startup guys, how do they, and I don't mean tech startup, I mean like startup, we don't get money, startup, right? Yes. How can they identify the unique selling points that they have, especially if their product is or their service is very saturated? And then how can they now create a marketing campaign around that USP?
So, short answer, they are already doing that. Long answer, they find a way to answer a question that aligns with their inner thirst, which is, I want to be better. If someone just wants to make money and then people are buying your ice cream or your parfait every day, it takes extra hard work for you to say, even though I'm making money, I want to be positioned better. Because the money itself will engage you, will keep you busy. But whenever you find out that as a brand, I want to, you know, be better, this is not the vision I saw. I know I saw the vision of making money, but the person I saw, the brand I saw is way, way better.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
What if the person did not see vision?
Like, if you can't see it, you can't be it. You have to see first. That is why most of the work that I do is to help the masses to see. Because in most cases, we know what is amazing, but the roadmap to getting there is what is hazy.
I see what you did there.
It's Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
You know, by the way, there was a consultation session where it was heated. You know, it was very it was back to back to back. The person was like, wow. I said, no, just say thank you, Jesus is better. The person was all, thank you, Jesus, and thank you, Jesus. You know. So what I'm saying is, when someone is thirsty to be better, when they follow me, you will see it. Oh my God, how come there is a page like this on this Instagram and I don't know? Somebody will say, have I paid for Instagram Premium and not know it?
I don't know if I dropped the comment, like, this is what I paid my data for. This is what I'm paying data.
Like, people were literally commenting. And other people that followed me because of Very Dark Man's video, a lot of them have unfollowed. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying it as a good thing. because it goes to prove that people align based on their thoughts. There was a post I collaborated with Don Jazzy on, I was so sure that that was the post. Like, I understand marketing. I've been in this. I'm a juggernaut in this field. And he posted it. The engagement was amazing for anybody, but for what I envisaged and projected, it was so bad. In short, if I put it on my page alone, it would have done way better. But guess what? He posted another post that had to do with what people like to see. And it just, and immediately I didn't feel bad anymore, because it tells us that we are in a skilled playing field. It is this way. The post is here. This is where, this is where your own post is. This is where your opponent's post is. You need to run like you want to die just to read the post. You might not even be with the ball, but just to read the post, while they have to just roll the ball and it will get to your post. That's how we function, right? So you see people who, whenever you say something they want to hear, something flavored or something sexual, you get a lot of engagement, which is a trap again, because then you get engagement there, then you want to say it again. Then it stops getting as much engagement, then you want to go deeper.
You want to do more.
To do more. Then before you know it, you become someone else.
That you do not even know.
But again, creativity, if you never forget this, creativity is 70% discipline. 70% discipline. I will know discipline in terms of jurisdiction, not even consistency. Creativity is more of jurisdiction. I will not go beyond this cup. What will bless me is in this cup. The idea that will blow me is in this cup. I will find it and I will use it. I know I'm holding a saucer and the saucer comes with it. No, I will not use the saucer. And that's when, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be happy. Because people keep doing things around you. But you have found that piece that if it's not a cup idea, I'm not interested.
Which of your posts, right, did the most when you thought it wouldn't do nothing? What post is that?
The one for Adi Kabasa, where I attended a service in this. I attended this by the way. So there was this ELC conference where Adi Kabasa was telling them about creativity is you hiding where you steal from, but finding a way to use references, and we're using Craig Davis. I'm walking away to how Nice used the same instrumental for photocopy, easy. And coincidentally, the photocopy was actually copying, but, there was a smart speak there.
I get it.
So I did a video on that because I've done a video on copying and people backlashed saying, no, copying is wrong. I'm like, what? There's nothing original in this world. True. And I said, even Jesus was called the John, the John the Baptist. So people, we walk by references. If we've not seen it before, we rebel. After we see it, then we can say, why do I have a cup? Oh, you have one. Okay, I'll not fight with you. It's okay. Do you understand? So I now said, I have given you a video. I've done a video on copying. I've done a video of reverse engineering. If you want me to send it to you,
Blue.
No, it went.
Blue.
No, it blew. It blew. And the blue was a blue of, I didn't expect that saturation of color, so it's, and I mean, if you might look at it and feel like, oh, is this the blue he's talking about? It was a big deal for me because I did it there because it was from the heart. I don't need people to know that this thing this man spoke about, I've spoken about it. If you want more in-depth, conversation about that, it's right in my video, and it did well.
One thing that just crossed my mind when you were talking, right, is the part where you said that there's really no new thing under the sun. Now, I'm a bit crossed in my head, and I have to say it, right? If there's nothing new under the sun, that means that it's somehow, that in itself can sometimes stifle creativity. Because all you have to do is look for someone that has thought of or that has done something that you have thought of, and well, that's not in itself, it's not bad, just make it better.
No, I would say make it better. Make it you.
Because you are different.
In your mind, you're like James. I would say make it better. If you say make it better, you're putting yourself under pressure. There's a presentation I have. I'll be presenting it Lagos Startup Week. It's about standing out as a scam.
Standing out as a scam.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree. I mean, like, there's so many things where, like, there's so many photographical representation of it. Like, picture representation, you see, like, 11 candles, and then there's black candles, and then there's one white one, and that white one is like D1. And I'm like, okay, but the other ones can light now, Abby.
Like, I mean, there's a whole mindset, you know. That presentation is gonna be like, I just pray that, you know, Holy Spirit does what it does, but that is sick, because the context is very vital. You know, somebody wanted to stand out, they got Ashoke and made pants out of it. Everybody wanted to stand out, they got Ashoke and made pants out of it. They are no longer standing up, they're blending it.
Yeah.
Then everybody shares a song, and the first thing they want to do is ad-lib. Why is everybody wants to ad-lib? You know, because that is what's standing out. You are the one who have the right to do the ad-libbing, you know, in the song, and everybody wants to do that. Everybody wants to be the one who is standing on the podium. Then that's not special anymore. You know, that's the mindset for that. When you copy and there's nothing new under the sun. The truth is, the reason why we were created individually is so that we can bring our individuality to everything, especially what we copied, especially. Because if you bring your individuality to something, I promise you for free, you cannot copy the thing and it will be exact. It might not be better in quotes, but it will bring some certain flavor that another person cannot copy.
Yes.
So by the time everybody copies the same thing,
but adds themselves to it,
yes,
it's new.
Let their value be the spice and the melting pot. It is different. It will be Gary, but it might be yellow Gary. It will be Gary, but it's Ijebu Gary. It might be Gary, but it might not be sour. It might be Gary, but it will have sand in it.
That one's everything.
You understand?
I get you.
It is Gary, but there are several kind of Garys.
So
you Garys?
I got. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, please. Oh god. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
So this thing that just happens in my house once in every 2 minutes.
Oh wow. Must be fun.
That is fun.
Must be fun.
Like, there's no dull moment. Even in the very heated, when my wife is angry with my daughter or is angry with my son, and she just say, "Can't you just stop this?" I say, "He can't stop. He's lame." No, be like, don't bring all those things here now.
It's not now. That's not time.
That's not time.
So I mean, let's talk about names, right? I think that, allow me to say that, you are gifted, right? With your, it's not even just your use of words, but then your interpretation of brand and brand naming. Nomenclature, exactly. That's the word. So how do you do it?
Again, maybe it's because it's what I keep saying. Maybe why other people watch movies and then they see the camera angles. I see camera angles too, you know, or they see the colors. I see the colors too. Or maybe they do something.
I don't see nothing. No, I don't know. I just watch it.
No, I watch. It's short. There was a full podcast episode I wanted to do on brand naming on the Bible. God,
you should do it.
Oh my God. Like, when I tell you my head is a burial ground, like mass burial, like yes. the back to back. When the Bible talks about Bezalel, when Sarah laughed and God was like, Isaac, I see what you did there. You know, and when this person will find, okay, I'll call this place Bethel, you know, why is it that every small thing
they will name it, they will give it name
in the Bible, and you reach your turn, you're like, no, my name is Tokwe Makeup. I want that Tokwe Makeup to be everything
because it's your name.
You know, so I see it a lot in plenty things. I see it every, even if you find me in bus stop.
Maybe I should ask
If
you
that's
this question
possible,
of air.
I
should ask you this question.
Go ahead, please.
I want to ask you a question. So if I was to create a brand name, I told you that I've been struggling with creating a brand name. What would you suggest?
For me to create a brand name that will work for you, I need to know you. And I say it every time on my live session. I say, please don't ask me.
People do be asking you that.
Yes, they do. But the good thing is, I say, if you want to ask me that question, you must come on stage. Because when you come on stage, I'll be like, why did you do that? But this person is doing it. Yes, this person do, but he cannot do it better than me. I'll be like, I like that. I like the anger and the fire that came, that person cannot do it better than you. Okay, so why did you now decide that you want to do it? I did it because my mom is someone who has always believed in me, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's deep. Okay, so what do you want to go into? Is makeup. Okay. So do you want the name to be something that whenever you look at it does this? And the person speaks, and most times, trust me, the person calls the brand name while they are passionately angry, vibing, talking. They come up with their brand name by themselves. But they'll just keep talking. I'll be like, wait. They'll be like, no, it's not. I'll be like, okay, what do you think about this name? They'll be like, oh my God.
Oh.
How did you think about that? I'll be like,
you just said it now.
Like, no, I didn't say it like that. Saying, So it's most times, and again, that's what being present means. And if I tell you my wife taught me how to be present, you'll be shocked. Because when we were in NYC back in the days, we'll be having an argument. Then I used to stutter a lot, and we'll be having an argument. And my wife is so eloquent, Jesus. Where she consolidates her words with God. And she can make you, we'll argue like this, and she'll just ask me one question, I'll don't vex and leave the room. Or we'll be talking, I'll don't vex and go. She now called me and said, you can't be living everywhere. Come, let me teach you how to argue. When you argue with someone, let all your mind be there. Don't hear what you're saying. Hear what they're saying. Commercial stop. If they say something that does not align with the fact, just hold it. They keep like, just say, so are you saying that? The person will be like, no, I didn't say it like that. No, that's what you said. Or didn't you know what you said? No, I didn't say it like that. Immediately you hold that, the person is out of balance. When they are speaking again, you hold the other one. You hold that. I'm not like, okay. Yeah. But the most important ingredient in that conversation is you cannot catch what the person is saying unless you've overlooked the emotion and you are out to catch something. Because then the priority is no longer on your anger or how you feel or the impression you want to pass. Is now. So one day we're now talking and I think something happened and she argued and you're like, no, something. I said, I don't like what you did. She was like, you don't like what exactly? And I was like, I don't like what you did. What did you do? You took this one and did it like that. You do it every time. She was like, when did I do it? I said, I did it the first day. But you said every time. So when was the other time I did it? But you do it every time. So like, no. You said I do it every time. So when was the other time? You now feel stupid about saying every time, And I'm like, oh, that's what you thought to me. Yeah. So it's one of those things that when I have a conversation with my client, I'm always present. Sometimes they bring a brief and the brief is wrong. They tell you they want to solve a problem and that problem is shallow. And then in talking, you find the real problem. You anchor that problem. You hang everything on it. And by the time you do that and you put that messaging out there, I'll be talking about a lot of things like that.
So I think the final question I would like to have answers to then would be social media, yeah?
Yes.
It's a tool.
Yes.
A very big one that essentially has changed the life of people.
Yes.
How do you think it has changed how Nigerians buy and sell and how Nigerians can better buy and sell?
So let's look at it this way. Nigerians were once people who sold on streets. Then later the streets went on steroids and became markets, right? And that market came on steroids and became a bigger market, call it a mall. Then social media happened. And then your market can be shown to the entire world at the same time. something has not changed. What you sell and how you sell. So if you can't sell, your market is in front of the world, but the same effect you won't get when you are alone. You won't get that same effect. And there's this thing in Yoruba, we call it oyaya. It is like your vibe, your energy. Yeah, when your
aura.
Your aura. That's the word. You know, your aura when somebody comes to your store and you're like, hi, hello. You know how these people behave to kids. They're like, oh my God, what's his name? She might not really be happy for you. First name you say his name is Hans. And you're like, I've not heard that name before. And it's possible that his son's name is Hans. You know, like, what does it mean? You're like, Hans mean hands of God. And you're like, oh my
wow.
God. And you're like, he's so beautiful. And maybe in her mind, she's like,
it's kind of what became with this.
Like this. You know, but when she says that, you won't negotiate based on this thing should be cheaper. You negotiate based on, but this is the amount I came with. This is actually my budget, which means your heart has already connected. When people bring that vibe online, it gets the same effect. However, there are rules, but it is that same heart that is interested that will say, oh, if they need to laugh, I need to tell them jokes. If they need to know the kind of things I'm selling, I need to tell them stories on how the last person that did not buy it is regretting it now. You know, so that is why you see that people bring a lot of energy. However, there's a downside. A lot of people are shouting online. And once people are shouting, a new strategy can you bring it down?
Thank you.
Can there be a page where they come to your page and they feel peace? There was this stuff that Sneakers did back in the days where their ad was actually a breathing space. And they did not Sneakers, Kit Kat.
They didn't say nothing. And
they said, finally, no jingle bells, no red outfits, no buy this, no 1999, 999, no get gifts for this. It is just some time for you to just relax. Kit Kat.
See, I even said nice.
Yeah,
I relaxed.
And their payoff was have a break, have a Kit Kat chunk.
Oh,
you know, and they gave you a break. You know, so it's when that happens, people will always, you know, connect. So whatever it is you're selling, social media is just your market, the same place so that most people can see it. Sometimes you also need to make it very, very, you must know. The goal of social media is not to go viral. It's for you to be represented first. Your representation, is it true to who you are? If that is 100%, you've won first. Because some people, their social media presence is just for people to come and see that you are legit. And then they will have the conversation with you back channel. You know, so we need to be very, very careful and very intentional there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ayo, for this conversation. I've been blessed.
Thank you.
And I do hope too that, you know, every other person listening to have found some form of value, and knowledge for them. However, I'm going to ask you the thing that they ask very rich men.
Yes.
Because I know that you're a rich man.
Bring it on.
Okay. No fear, no got you. What final words do you have to say for creators, creatives, entrepreneurs, business owners, people looking to you as some form of enigma? What would you say to them? What's a singular word that you'd like to leave with them?
Creativity is not reserved for any aha or special moment. It's in you. It cannot finish. Does not burn data. Does not need power. Does not need light. It's in you whether you're hungry or you're angry or you're in hungry. Whatever, whenever, it's always there. Make sure to use it every single point in time. Whether you want to or you don't, use it. It's like gymming, just like the example everybody will give. The more you exercise it, the more your body takes shape. When I started, I usually write my ideas on paper. I tell everybody who interns under me that don't give me one idea. I need at least 20 ideas. you divide A4 into 20. Is one of my bosses that taught me that. And you fill it up with ideas. Once you do that 50 times, 100 times, 200 times, you still do that till you die. But it gets to a level that the paper is in your mind, the pen is in your mind, the ideas, the squares are in your mind. It will happen. So when people say I come up with brand names easily, anyhow, this thing is go showing you somewhere. The paper is somewhere. I don't know where the paper is, but I know that the names are being written. I'm not even able to read the entire paper to you. I'm just reading the few ones that came, to my mind. And this thing happens in a split of a second. I mean, billions of ideas in split second. And lastly, let me just add again, 70% of creativity is discipline. You must create boundaries. You must create boundaries. If you want to create content, you must create boundaries. What is it about? What is the message? What message must they get? Once you have that boundary, make sure you don't go out of it.
Thank you so much. This conversation was different. It was fun, a lot of laughter. And today we didn't just talk about branding. We talked about intentionality. We talked about energy, aura, faith, and what it means to build something not just with your brain, but from within, from the soul. Thank you so much, Ayo, for showing us that the strategy doesn't have to be complicated. Creativity doesn't have to be new. It doesn't have to be exceptional. It just has to be powerful. And our creativity itself can be divine. You just have to listen. And that marketing does not have to be you chasing the numbers. It has to create some form of depth. It has to connect to the people that you want to connect to, because you're also connected to a source.
Yes.
So for everyone listening, I need you to go follow the Visual Advocate. I need you to study his page, his pace, his execution, his passion, his delivery. And I need you to remember that marketing is not just a tool. It is a ministry for you to preach the word of your brand. So use it well. And until the next time that I see you, keep building smartly, intentionally, boldly, and as simple as possible. I am Melvis, and it's an absolute pleasure to always have you on the LIMBsimple Podcast. See you in the next one.
Dear entrepreneurs and CEOs, did you know that 90% of businesses fail within the first 5 years of conception and only a very little fraction make it to 7 figures? Are you currently struggling with scaling your business, customer attraction, customer retention? Then you are definitely not alone. What if I told you that there are proven systems that could turn your business into a revenue generating machine? With over 4,000 businesses transformed and 53 of which are already doing $1 billion in revenue annually, we do not just teach you how to do business, we teach you how to actually win in business. At the Strategy Factory, you get the exact roadmap to scale your business, build a sellable business, attract high-value customers, make strategic decisions with confidence, make the most of the business, and also unlock powerful networking opportunities. Do not let your business become yet another failure statistics. Success is a strategy. The question right now is, do you have the right one? If you're interested to have further conversation on the Strategy Factory with us, comment strategy in the comment section and we'll follow up with you immediately. We look forward to seeing you in the next Strategy Factory happening this month.